Hello, we are getting ready to start Module 4, Lesson 2. We are going to be starting with the problem application. We're going to do that one first. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Then remember on your problem application that you also need to add a written statement that matches the story. You need to watch the video for Lesson 2 with Mr. Waldorf, and he will talk you through the things that you're going to be doing on the problem set. And let's see if there's anything in particular that I want you to think about. Okay, so you've got that problem set. And then on this next page, you have another problem set, or the rest of the problem set. Please be aware that on problem number 4, they would like you to use the arrow way to show your answer to this word problem. And be extra careful down here on this part, especially on part E, where you have to make both sides of the equation have the same value. But in order to do that, well, I think it's, well, there's several of them that you need to be careful of. You need to make both sides of the equation have the same value. You're going to have to solve for this first before you can decide this. So I will give you that little hint that you will need to figure out what 41 or 48 ones and 2 tens are, and then figure out what that would be in tens and ones. So just be careful on those. Pay attention to what Mr. Waldorf has to say about figuring those out. And then over on the exit ticket, you are going to be, of course, sending that to your teacher. Yes, I usually write that on there, forgot to on this one. Send that to your teacher. But I do want you to understand that problem number 5 is a little bit difficult. I am going to use that as a bonus question. I would certainly like to see you give it a try. And see if you can't figure it out. Again, both sides of the equation are going to have the same value. You'll have to figure out this side of the equation and then figure out how you can make this side of the equation have the same value. They also have provided you, which I'm very happy, we have a nice big workspace here that you might need to figure out some of these problems that are up above. I know that I use the workspace. Wow, that is not coming in very clear today. I use that workspace to help me figure out some of them. So feel free to use the workspace down below if you need a little space where you can write things out, or you can use the arrow way method or the number bond method to figure any of these out that are up above. So these will be the 4 that we'll be doing as a grade. This one will be a bonus question. If you can figure it out, you've got math brains. Okay, so with that, I'm going to get you started with the problem application. I need you to remember, not only are you doing read, draw, and write, but you also need to use cubes, which is to circle the numbers, underline the question, box the keywords, X out extra information, and set the problem up to solve it. So I'm going to leave you to do that. And remind you that you do need to write a statement that matches the story that you're going to do here. All right, so with that, if you haven't already watched the video with Mr. Waldorf, you need to do that before you start the problem set. And before you do the exit ticket, you need to make sure that you have all the other things finished first. All right, so I'm going to tell you to pause the video. Work through the pages that you need to, and then I will be sharing the key with you so you can check your work. So it's probably going to take you maybe 30 minutes, maybe a little more, depending on how quickly you work. So pause the video, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, are you back? Here we go. Let's take a look at our word problem. So we started off with Susan, who had 57 cents in her piggy bank. She had if she just put 30 cents in today, how much money did she have yesterday? So I started with my number bond, and at that point, this number here was not there, that's the number I was trying to figure out. That was the question I was trying to answer. So I know that she had 57 cents to begin with, and she just put 30 cents in today, and I want to know what did she have left yesterday. So I took my 57 and decided to set up a number equation where I'm taking 30 away from 57, because 57 take away 30 will give me this. And I subtracted my tens and my tens. 50 tens take away 30 tens gave me 20 tens. 50 tens take away 30 tens gave me 20 tens. And then I was only taking away the tens, if you'll remember, and as a result I still needed to add in the ones. So 20 plus the ones I needed to add in, because I wasn't taking away any ones, gave me 27. So 27 ended up here for what she had left yesterday, or what she started with yesterday, and Susan had 27 cents yesterday. So if you had trouble with that problem, you might want to go back and rethink about it and see. You may have had another method of doing it, but that was how I chose to do it. I like using the number bonds. I also like using the tape method, which is another form of a number bond. Okay, then the answer that I wrote on the back, and of course yours might not be exactly the same as mine, but I said Susan had 57 cents in her bank. If she just put in 30 cents today, then she had 27 cents yesterday. So basically you take the information that you learned from this problem and you put it into a statement. All right, so hopefully you got that as well. And let's move on now to our next page. I used a lot of mental math with this. Of course, you could they mentioned that you could have used a whiteboard to show your work. And you could have either used the arrow way or the number bonds, whatever worked best for you. But some of those were easy for me to do, and others of them I had to think about it. So I'm going to come down to problem B. When I was adding 24 and 30, I thought, well, I'm going to add my tens and my tens. So 2 tens plus 3 tens was 5 tens. And 4 ones plus 0 ones gave me 4 ones. And I did that pretty consistently through most of the problems that I was working on. And if that's useful to you, you could do that as well. Then I'm coming down to the second part of this problem set, and the first couple were pretty easy. Again, I use my little rainbow method to add my tens and take away. Oh my gosh, you guys really had to watch that you're switching from addition to subtraction. I hope you did that, because first one I did, I made a boo-boo and I had to go back and realize that I was subtracting and not adding. So again, I like to use 8 tens take away 2 tens gave me 6 tens, and 0 ones take away 0 ones gave me 0 ones. And I pretty much used that consistently through the entire exercise, especially as I got down to these last couple of problems, friends. You really did have to do some thinking about how you are going to come up with the missing number from that number sentence. So 8 tens take away 6 tens would give me 2 tens, and 4 ones take away 0 ones would give me 4 ones. So I use that method to help me be able to solve especially those last 4. Okay, then moving on to the problem set. Same thing. Things start to get a little bit more interesting as you work your way down. You do have to solve for what 8 tens and 7 ones take away 3 tens would be. So 8 tens take away 3 tens was 5 tens. So that gave me 5 tens. And then 5 tens plus the 7 ones, because I didn't take ones away, I only took tens away. 5 tens plus 7 ones gave me 57. So I'm going to let you go ahead and look at the rest of those, although I do want to talk about problem number 4. Mark had 78 puzzles and he lost 30 of them. I needed to remember that 30 was the same as 3 tens. How many pieces does Mark have left? Use the arrow method to show your simplifying strategy. So 78 take away my first 10 gave me 68. 68 take away my second 10 gave me 58. 58 take away my third 10 gave me 48. Therefore, Mark has 48 pieces left. Changing 30 into 3/10 made the arrow method very, very easy. Then, my friends, when you get finished with that and you feel confident, of course you do need to go on to the exit ticket. Remember, number 5 is a bonus question, and you have all this workspace for being able to either, if you wanted to use number bonds to help with your problems, that would be great. Or if you wanted to use the arrow method, that would be fine too. Or whatever other strategy works for you. All right, so I'll send that to your teacher, and I'm going to be excited to see how many of you can get problem number 5 right. Okay, have a great day of learning. Bye-bye.